Hey everybody, and welcome to Hex Token channel. I've just got to do one little technical thing which I forgot to do before the live stream started ticking over, and that is set up the mic to the right settings. Hopefully the sound quality is smooth and cool for this, what is it, New Year's Eve. That's in good old Kiwi land. I don't think the Americans or Europeans are quite there yet, but that's where we are at the moment. So let me just set that up. Looks pretty good. Welcome to the special second live stream today. And of course, we're going to have a bit of fun, a bit of a chat back here. Crypto, a 2022 review. It's going to be a bit of fun, and hope you guys can come and hang out and let us know your opinions on these different major events in 2022. And of course, what you thought about them, any insights that you might have about it, anything at all, get into the chat. It's going to be a bit of a fun time, bit of a relaxed time here as we enter. So what time is it in here? It's currently 6 p.m. So basically dinner time, give or take. And of course, it's the 31st of December on Saturday. And of course, coming into the Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve party. Oh, I keep saying Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve party time. I'm sure all over New Zealand, there will be parties. Australia, there will be parties. Everywhere will be party. And I'm sure there's going to be lots of fun and particularly drink to be had, I guess is the way I would say it. Drink and be merry. The ushering the end of 2022, and of course ushering in a new year, 2023. Now, where is the time zone for everybody else? Los Angeles is 21 hours behind us here in New Zealand, and of course it's only just past 9 o'clock on Friday. Just past 9 o'clock on Friday, so the 30th till the 30th of December. There, New York is currently. Is it just about? I think it's just gone past midnight, so it is actually the 31st in New York, but Los Angeles is still on the 30th of December. How's it? So funny with the time zones. New York is 18 hours behind us here. Now, Tokyo in Japan, it is 4 hours behind, so it is definitely the 31st there. It is only 2 o'clock in the afternoon in Tokyo, Japan. So konnichiwa, as we say, konnichiwa. There we are. So we got that in the house. And London, of course, it is currently 5 o'clock today. 5 o'clock in the morning. No, it's really early in the morning. It's 5 to 5 I think it is. No, 5 past 5 in the morning in good old London. So a big welcome to everybody there. And of course, the reason why I reads out these particular places is because this is the default setting on my Mac clock. So that's why we go through these countries. And I know there's many other countries around the world. What is it? Maybe 192, 196, or 202, depending on which country list you read. That's pretty cool. So wherever you are from, a big happy new year. That's definitely coming up. Do we get to say it 2 days? Do we get to say it New Year's Eve and the first day of the next year? I think we can. So we'll have a lot of fun there as well. Now, New Year's resolutions. When do we say that? Do we say that today? Said it New Year's resolutions, or do you say that tomorrow? I can't remember now either. Good luck to your New Year resolutions. I'm sure some of you might have. Maybe it's going to the gym. Maybe it's going swimming. Maybe it's going to the beach. Maybe it's helping somebody. Who knows? But whatever it is, set some good ones. Who else in the house there? We've got a couple of people. We've got Hex Huddle in the house there. Good to see Hex Huddle. Who else is in here? We've got Brian, one of our community leads. Refined's in the house there. Woohoo! Good to see you, Refined. And of course, Brian says sound is good. Sound is good and smooth here with the new mic. I love the new mic. It's really cool. It's an Assure mic, and I really do like it a lot. Now all I have to do is get a camera so I can use it with the vlogging swivel that Brian got me. So I'm looking forward to that. That's definitely coming up. PDC in house. Hey, what's up, Hexco? Good to see you, PDC. And of course, Hex Force 1 there. What's up, everyone? Well, Hex Force 1 has landed. And of course, Hex Force 1's already got a projection for 2023. $2.50 for Hex. I like that a lot. That'll change a lot of lives. Changing lives for good. Brian says a drink and be hexy. That's a good principle there. Pete C says Vietnam, it's lunchtime. Nice one, Pete C. Vietnam. I love Vietnam there. It always reminds me of Good Morning Vietnam movie with William, the comedian William. I just forgot his last name. It's crazy. Refine's in house there at midnight here. Hey, Refine, good to see you in house. We've got Hex Glenn there, Superman. Hey, good to see you, Hex Glenn. And Refine says it's midnight there, so hopefully you've got enough energy to stay up. Refine, good to see you in the house though. And Hex Glenn in there as well. Very cool. Genuine, a happy New Year's Eve. Enjoy fireworks tonight. Yeah, lots of fireworks. In fact, I haven't been to like a bonfire or fireworks for a long time. They used to be pretty special. You'd have pretty big food. In New Zealand, we have the native people called the Maori people, and they have a tradition called a hangi. And of course, we did talk about it the other day on this channel. And basically, they basically steam cook on hot coals underneath the ground, a few feet under the ground, a whole ton of food. So you might have chicken, vegetables, and all sorts of stuff. And it is absolutely remarkable. And when it comes out of the hangi there, it's pretty amazing. Hexforce One says, Robin Williams, thanks for that. Yeah, I just had a mind freeze there for a second. Hexforce One. So yeah, Robin Williams, good morning, Vietnam. Good morning, Vietnam. He says it in such a particular way. It was one of the really cool features from that movie, something that you remember. Very cool. All right, we're going to go through this article. This is from forecast.news. And, of course, it's a great review of the crypto 2022. Obviously, it's just a summary snapshot. There are so many things that happened in 2022. But we're just going to go quickly through this. We're going to stop as we go. And let me know your thoughts in the chat on every topic as we go through each event for 2022 crypto in review. So we've got a little bit of an intro here. It says, after a breakout year in 2021, crypto experienced a turbulent 2022. I think we can all agree with that. It was a pretty harsh bear market coming down from the top of the bull market there for crypto. And, of course, no surprises there. Blockchain technology made significant progress, and that's something we don't talk too much about this channel. But we've had a lot of developments, particularly around bridges, cross-chain bridges and things like that have really developed a lot. Now, they've still got issues to deal with, but we've had lots of technological progress, speeds of chains. We've seen lots of chains emerge with high transaction per second accounts and all sorts of stuff. But, of course, a lot of them have to build out their communities and build out their ecosystem. So that takes time as well. But we have had a lot of cool things happen in the space. And, of course, it's all starting to get integrated and get fast and easy. It's kind of cool like that. But that failed to balance, it says, the multiple bankruptcies, collapses, and market volatility that plagued the industry this year. It certainly did. And, of course, we went, from a 3 trillion market cap down to about a 1 trillion or sub 1 trillion market cap. That's still small globally, even at 3 trillion. If you think about all the different markets, bond markets, equity markets, forex markets, exotic markets, particularly the biggest one, of course, derivative markets, which is in the hundreds of trillions, if not quintillions. There might even be quintillion something. It's pretty ginormous. So definitely crypto is still relatively small compared to those markets. We've got 3 of the well-known faces that you can see here. Of course, Terra Luna and, of course, FTX and the US Central Reserve Bank there. And, of course, some interesting personalities. The macro outlook for the cryptocurrency industry appears grim heading into the new year as the fallout from Bahamas-based cryptocurrency exchange FTX.com and the trial of its founder, Sam Bankman-Friedman, continue to cast shadows and strengthen scrutiny on regulatory issues globally. Despite obstacles ahead, the technology appears here to stay, and amid warnings of market volatility, many governments and regulators have signaled interest in blockchain technology, whether for use in central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, or carbon credit markets. And, of course, we have talked about those. I did a summary video not long ago on all the state of the CBDCs around the world. We had a cool global map visual. So you can check that out on Hex Token channel here. We did cover that. We're going to get into some of the events, though, from the beginning of the year of 2022. We've obviously got February, the crypto bull, it says, riding on high from 2021. The crypto industry had big plans this year in 2022, and major firms splashed millions in advertising, and boy, did they, spending money all over the place. The Super Bowl in the US, watched by an estimated 200 million viewers on February the 14th. 200 million viewers saw crypto firms such as Coinbase, FTX, Crypto.com, and eToro dominate advertisements. And, of course, some of you may have been at some of those games and seen those advertisements, particularly when you're in the US there. FTX commercial there, which featured American sitcom legend Larry David, urged viewers not to miss out on the next big thing, crypto. Well, the next big thing, crypto, is going to be around for a long time. And as I always argue, we're probably only around about halfway through the maturity of the crypto space as technology keeps evolving. And, of course, the adoption keeps going up and the community growth keeps getting bigger and bigger. So that's pretty cool. Hey, we've got Great White in the house. Hey, Great White, good to see you. Happy New Year all. Bring on 2023. Absolutely Great White. I hope you're doing well, Great White. I don't know when, remind me, Great White, when the actual cruise ship is on. That's in January, is it? The cruise ship? There's a Hex cruise ship, I believe, with black Hexkin. So let me know in the chat there. I think that's still coming up. So you're definitely going, right? So let us know. We're getting up to March now, March 2022. And of course, major crypto hack. US Fed begins to raise interest rates. And of course, we went from cheap money, as we always say, 0 up to our current rate, 4.5. The US federal funds raised the benchmark federal funds rate by 25 basis points. And of course, to a range of 0.25 to 0.5%. Its first hike rate since 2018. The Ronin network that supports the popular X Affinity blockchain gaming platform became the victim of one of the largest crypto hacks ever in March. Hackers breached the network and stole around $625 million worth of Ethereum and USD stablecoins. So we had a bit of cool events there. We had markets with the interest rates and a big giant hack there. US officials said that a North Korea state-backed hacking collective, the Lazarus Group, was involved in theft with the help of US authorities and crypto security firms. Over $30 million of funds have been recovered. This was one of the first of several acts in 2022. Yeah, a lot of people forget about how North Korea does a lot of that cyber attacks and crypto attacks to gain wealth and information and things like that. So it's pretty funny when you hear these stories of what they're doing, how those operations. Imagine being trained up just for you. That's your purpose, is to get as much crypto as you can from other countries. So pretty crazy. Obviously easier to cross-border, right? No cross-border limitations there. All right, we got up to May now. We're up to May. So Terra Luna crashes. Of course, this was really powerful, and quite a few people were involved with this. A lot of the big YouTubers, the ones with 100,000 subs to 1 million subs, sometimes even higher, were promoting, of course, Terra Luna. I won't name names, but you know they are. The Terra network and its founder, Do Kwon, and of course, it began the year on a high note. Terra's algorithmic stablecoin, Terra UST there, had a market cap as high as almost $18.7 billion. So there we are, pretty exciting, $18.7 billion. I know a lot of standard traditional corporates would love this sort of stuff. It's amazing how quickly it can be created in crypto. That was in April, of course. That all fell apart within a few days in May. That was pretty big there. UST's US dollar peg began to waver on May the 9th and slid to US 47 cents on May the 11th. The price rebounded a day later before it plunged below 10 cents on May the 19th. Now, obviously, we were, a lot of us were on, I think we had the Discord open then. A lot of us were trading Terra Luna, could believe it. We were trading it at fractions of a penny or something. That was pretty crazy. Some of us were looking at it when it was getting down to 10 cents. That's when we started looking at it. And then we thought, I was thinking to myself, this thing's going to go down. And it did. It got down to 1 or 2 cents. And I was like, is it time to enter? I go, no. This thing's probably going to go even lower. And down. It went many times to a fraction of a penny. And of course, we were trading that for a quite decent gain. Some of us made some decent money buying large volumes. So it's pretty crazy. Of course, they try to resurrect all these tokens, right? The communities do, because they get so wrecked. And it really is quite sad. We care about the small investor. So it was unfortunate. And of course, quite a few well-known personalities in YouTube and stuff got taken down too, losing millions in some cases. So just the way it is. But hey, the next day after they lost millions, what did they do? They went out and they shilled their margin trading accounts again. They did not stop, right? So that's the way to recover their revenue. Poor plebs that they put into it, they lose. And of course, then they just get back into reshilling the old margin trading links. So you can ask yourself about that, what you think of that one. Terra Luna crashes. Then we got to June, right? Let's see if anyone's got any comments on that. Hey, we got Dank in the house. Hey, good to see you, Dank, with the strong arm. And Holy Jedi, we've got Wookie in the house as well. The Force is strong with us. The Force is strong. All right, so cool. Good to see Wookie in the house there. And what do we got? June, of course, Terra Luna contagion continues on June the 12th. US cryptocurrency lender Celsius froze withdrawals, swaps, and transfers in response to extreme market conditions. And of course, later laid off 150 employees and attempted to restructure. Now, we have seen these things happen in the stock market, right? Where the market's declining, they put stops on trading cryptos. Trading the stock markets. We see that with stocks. but they don't seem, when the price is going up, they don't seem to put stops on the trading for prices that are going up, right? Just the prices going down. It's kind of funny there. And of course, we've got Celsius did it in crypto here, froze withdrawal swaps and transfers of spots to extreme market conditions, and later laid off 150 employees and attempted to restructure. However, that was on the 12th of June. On the 27th of June, another crypto lender, US-based Voyager, issued a notice of default to hedge fund Three Arrows Capital. This is where it really all began, right? And of course, Three Arrows Capital for failing to service a loan worth about $665 million. Now, we were actually following a couple of these positions that Three Arrows Capital had on this channel, because you could have a look at them. And of course, they ended up capitulating there. Now, I think Arrows Capital was worth over $10 million at some stage. And of course, there was two founders there, and they did a pretty good job. They were around for years. Also been around in Hex as well. I think they had a strong position in Hex. Yeah, they've been around about the town, as it were. Of course, Singapore-based Three Arrows Capital was next to fall. On June the 29th, the firm was ordered liquidated by British Virgin Islands Court. 2 days later, Three Arrows Capital filed for bankruptcy under Chapter 15. That's all in June. Now, obviously, since then, we've heard stories about FTX being involved with the takedowns as well around this particular story, particularly around Terra Luna and things like that. So it depends on what you're looking at, but there's definitely been some involvement there. Then we get to July 2022. July 2022. And we're going to talk about that. More fallout from Terra Luna. That lasted months, didn't it? The old Terra Luna fallout. It really was pretty heavy. Dank says, I learned from trying the dip of Duquan's first failed token. Yeah, that's right, Dank. Basis Cash. Basis Cash was Duquan's first failure, says Dank. Yeah, well, it's a lesson learned, I guess. You do take these with you in crypto. Wookie says Brian, and Dank says, I bought and sold Basis Cash crash dip. Made nothing on the basis bond, says Tank. And of course, CL says an ex bull market, Rich Hart and Jack era decentralized finance, and of course, centralized exchanges and CeFi can go home. That's true. I think that people are slowly learning as we onboard every wave. We onboard more people, and of course, the more of them that they learn about the four pitfalls of not owning the key steel coins, and of course, centralized exchanges and CeFi. The more of them, once they get educated, they can come into DeFi and, of course, operate on DEXs. So it's really that's a more mature crypto user, I think, from that point of view. Who else is in house? We've got Blobfish King says, g'day all, got some more Hex today, getting my average down towards 10 cents. Well done, Blobfish King. That is so cool. So you see, even with these prices moving down, people have got the opportunity to dollar cost average and really lower the average price, meaning that the bounce back, which we know that's probably going to be coming with Pulsechain, everything else, and all the goodness that's coming down that chain, is going to help out to get yourself back into profit, or at least break even, if not into massive profits. We will see. Obviously, nothing is investment advice on this channel, as you guys know. Steve Wright says, you keep it so positive every day. Thank you, Steve Wright, Santa Barbara. Hey, Steve Wright, you're welcome, man. It's a pleasure. As you guys know, enjoy this sort of stuff. So it's very, very cool. Dan says, Richard Hart and Ivan on Tech help guide me on the right path. I owe them huge. Yeah, that is so true. That is so true. In fact, I might have a little video on that, actually. Let me have a look. I'm pretty sure I had a video on the old Ivan on Tech there. I think this is the one here. So this you bring up a good thing here. So let's listen to Ivan on Tech, your keys, your coins. Pretty much.
Cannot have anything centralized. Not your coin, not your key, not your Bitcoin, not your anything. You need to have your keys. You don't know how these guys that you think are smart, and they have this curly hair, they look like fantastic computer geeks from the next dimension, and then they are wolves. I saw this tweet on Twitter just a few hours ago that, you have all these smart people, you think they're fantastic, they're brilliant, they're admired by the whole industry, suddenly they rug pull, suddenly they take your money. I mean, it's horrible. That's why you cannot trust anyone.
Not your keys, not your coins. This just blows my mind. I can't scream this stuff loud enough.
So there we are, Dank. That was for you, Richard Hart and Ivan on Tech. Helped guide you. There we are. That was a quick summary of it, which is funny. I had that video. It's kind of cool. All right, so cool. Let's jump over to we're up to July 2022 now. Crypto 2022. I can't even talk properly now. Crypto 2022 review. Crypto 2022 review. There we are, folks. We got it finally out there. Crazy. I've been talking so much today, probably. That's why. July, more fallout from Terra Luna. NFTs begin to waver. The old non-fungible tokens, of course, they had their own boom, right? We had different stuff come out, different booms. And, of course, NTFs had their boom. They've had a couple of little booms, really. Begin to waver. Crypto winter sets in. So on July the 5th, Voyager and its affiliates filed for bankruptcy under Chapter 11. It really hasn't been the year of the bear market, hasn't it? And, of course, Chapter 11 filings. Everyone's probably got used to that term now, liquidations, Chapter 11 filings. Celsius filed for bankruptcy under Chapter 11 on July the 13th. FTX proposed acquiring the bankrupt Voyager on July the 28th, but in a court filing, Voyager called FTX's proposal a lowball bid, dressed up as a white knight rescue. Isn't that funny? After all of that, FTX's day was coming not long after this. This is July 2022. How hilarious is that, right? FTX proposed acquiring the bankrupt Voyager on July 28th. Man, oh man, didn't take long after this, did it? But in the court filing, Voyager called FTX proposal a lowball bid, dressed up as a white knight rescue. And we know that's going to be true, right? That comment is so true. So that's pretty hilarious. The non-fungible tokens there market also declined in tandem with crypto. Monthly NFT trading volumes fell over US 4.9 billion in January to under 1 billion by June. So it's a pretty dramatic 5x decrease. Per NFT data aggregator CryptoSlam. In October, that figure dropped below 500,000. So it just went down, obviously, with the bear market. But as interest in new NFT collections waned, major brands such as Bored Ape Yacht Club, CryptoPunks, and Axie Infinity solidified themselves as industry leaders, and they have. So if you go to OpenSea, you'll see they continue to pretty much dominate, with each one surpassing 2 billion in all-time sales volume this year. And so those ones that stick around through cycles, they're the ones that are going to really perform, really hold up the market. They're the ones that you're after because they have long-term value. Now, getting to that is kind of the holy grail, right? Getting some sort of that. But that being said, of course, they do have different prices during bear and bull markets. But I think Bored Ape, I think they're still like 70 ETH, aren't they, per NFT? So it's still a lot of money. By midsummer, a crypto winter had set in with prices of crypto assets extending declines. And of course, this is midsummer US. Of course, we just ended our summer here, so this is midwinter for us. Bitcoin dropped, so midwinter for us is kind of more appropriate for the bear market, right? So it's kind of a better context. Bitcoin dropped around 70% from its all-time high in November 2021 by July. So there we are. Bitcoin dropped by 70% from its all-time high in November 2021 by July 2022, which is also. Was Hex up in that time frame as well. Many so-called altcoins declined more sharply than Bitcoin or went bust. As of the time of publication, at least 2,400 crypto projects with their own tokens have failed, obviously. So it just goes to show you there are tens of thousands of tokens, but some of them absolutely, utterly fail. And this is the way it goes. According to Coinopsy, that tracks dead coins and digital assets. Crypto companies began to hunker down for the crypto winter and started to lay off staff. And we started to see that, right? We started to see that over the summer. Coinbase announced a cut of around 1,100 employees, about 18% of its workforce. NFT marketplace OpenSea laid off about 20% of its staff, and crypto exchange blockchain.com lost a quarter of its workforce. Crypto.com announced that it let go of 260 employees in June, but that number reportedly grew in the following months. There we are. So that's by the time, what's that month? That is July, midwinter, and of course, middle of the year there. Now we're getting up to some good news now. Finally, after all that carnage, as the bear market was pretty harsh, we finally get into some good news and a long-awaited news with the September. We had the Ethereum merge. Amid all the doom and gloom, the crypto industry had a bright spot in September with an update. The merge. Yes, the merge indeed. Sounds like something out of movies, doesn't it? The merge. Don't miss it at your local cinema near you. Take your family. To the second largest cryptocurrency blockchain, Ethereum. The upgrade went through its final stage in mid-September, making the network 99.99% more energy efficient by transitioning from the proof of work consensus mechanism to the proof of stake. So that has been a great achievement. Obviously, there's a few criticisms that can be made about some of their network, but apart from that, that is a really good good outcome. So it was super successful there. And of course, has had a big impact on the course of Pulsechain, with Richard Hart announcing, obviously, that we were actually going to fork the proof of stake rather than the proof of work version. And I think I might have that video too. So let's play that. Why not? While we're here, let's play that one. I've got to find it. I'm pretty sure I've still got it. So let me just see where it is here. Is this the one here? No, I'm not sure that is it. That is the Hex launch. I've got the Hex launch video. Let's see where I've got it. I'm pretty sure I had it here. I'm looking for the faces of hexologists on the video. Not sure if I've still got it here though. Oh, is this the one? No, that's almost I almost had it there. Let's see. I can't see it there. I got one of the two videos, but not the right one from the looks of it. Oh no, here, I think this is the right one here. So I think this is the one. This is related to the ETH merge. And of course, Richard, about 24 days later, after the ETH merge was successful, announced that Pulsechain would be proof of stake, and he was just going to fork that network, which made things a lot more simpler and presumably gives us all the upgrades as well. So kind of cool.
I feel that the security considerations for Pulsechain's consensus strength are very, 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 very similar to Ethereum 2.0's. If that makes sense to you.
Makes sense.
We're forking Ethereum 2.0, not Ethereum 1.0.
Yay!
So, you beat it out of me, you fucks. You wore me down, okay? So the logic was, do we have more faith in the BSC consensus, which we found flaws in, or rotating to several other options of not very well audited consensus, or the extremely well audited Ethereum 2.0 consensus? And my logic is that if you're going to make things right, doing them during a bear is a beautiful time to do it. And I think it will be quicker to use Ethereum 2.0's consensus than to properly audit and secure Corellia, which is a version of Click, which is what has a lot of problems. And so it was maximum secure and minimum time to market, because we didn't know, like, you didn't know whether the merge was going to work right. Could have not worked right. And you didn't know if they'd ever get to doing it because the delays were nearly endless. Yep. But after they did it, and after it worked right, it was the obvious choice. And so Pulsechain will have upgrades, but be primarily the same consensus mechanism that Ethereum 2.0 uses, but is now called Ethereum 1, right? Like, no one called it's not. Right. Ethereum 2 is now Ethereum 1 since the merge worked. So it's strong. It's safer, it's faster, and any upgrades that come in the future for Ethereum, such as sharding, we will get on our chain. And we wouldn't have got had we stayed with Ethereum 1, because the forks would have diverged. And so it's just better. So we're doing what's better, and it didn't take us any extra time to do it. So it's actually good news.
So there we are, folks. That was the announcement he did on Hexologist about 24 days after the merge. So that was really exciting. And of course, proof of stake and upgradable. So that was kind of cool. And obviously, we're waiting for testnet and the mainnet. So it's pretty cool. We've got a few people in the chat here as well. We've got Human Hex Trafficker. What up, family? Good to see you, Human Hex Trafficker. We've got G. Caterer in house as well. Hi, guys. Where's Richard Hart? He's been quiet. I restake my Hex. No sense keeping it liquid while the price is so low, right? Yeah, that seems like a good idea. Richard Hart, well, he will be at the Hex conference on the 6th to the 9th. So probably on the back end there for the keynote speaking. So on the 9th of January. So look forward to that. Probably be another up to maybe 100 to 150 YouTubers on there as well. And other influencers on Twitter and TikTok and things like that. Probably be there too. So he'll be back. He has said that he's been getting stuff ready for his his museum. He's obviously been out buying a lot of stuff, shopping a lot of Gucci. Maybe all that stuff will end up in the museum. And of course, he also has said that he hasn't really been at his castle much, I don't think, following his US trip. So I think that's kind of all the stuff that I'm aware of. Anyone else, if they've got any info on Richard, they can let us know in the chat there. He has been pretty quiet. So hopefully at the Hex conference, we'll hear the latest and greatest from Richard. Of course, he did give us the last update on Pulsechain just to say that, the Explorer was being worked on with the scaling numbers. And so that's kind of where we are with the anticipation. Potentially we might get the testnet V3 maybe in January sometime. So that's kind of where we are. CL says, never makes sense to keep liquid, only if you want to sell or trade around with it. That says CL. And Brian says, eyelids too heavy. See you folks later, boss. Hey, Brian, you did not too bad. You did not too bad. How long? Half an hour, Brian. You did half an hour. You kept up. Well done. Sleep well, Brian. You deserve it. And, of course, one of our 2 community leads is Brian there in the Discord. So appreciate it, Brian. And, of course, Happy New Year to you, Brian. Happy New Year. In my humble opinion, Hex Token FTW says human hex trafficker. And, of course, Jay Judge in the house as well. What's up? Hey, good to see you, Jay Judge. Fat Sammy as well is in the house. Fat Sammy. We'll see what's Fat Sammy. And damn, I'm late. Yeah, Fat Sammy's another one of our community leads. A little bit late in the house, though. But good to see you, Fat Sammy. As always a pleasure. Machiavelli in the house there with the lights and the rockets. That's right. We've got the green light for go. And, of course, people are trying to pick the bottom of the Hex price. We'll probably talk about that quickly. Price is currently at 1.888 cents. So we'll talk about that after our timeline review of crypto 2022 timeline review. Jace Catterer says, but at least it's gaining some interest now. Yeah, that's right. Better late than never, says Brian. Yeah, better late than never. That's true. Wookie says, hang in there, Brian. You can do it. You can do it, Brian. You can do it. He's probably going off to a party. He's such a popular dude, that Brian. All right, we're going to get into it. Then we're going to jump into October. Of course, a beautiful month for crypto hackers. So October was the biggest month in the biggest year ever. So it was the biggest month in the biggest year ever for crypto hackers, with over US 718 million stolen from decentralized finance sites across 11 different hacks, according to Chain Analysis there, a US-based blockchain analysis company. Decentralized finance DeFi was a hot target for hackers, accounting for almost 99% of the total losses from exploits from July to September, according to a report by Singapore-based security services platform Immunify there. So obviously that is when you have R and DeFi, that's the one issue you do have to take into account, is not playing around too much with too many silly dApps, because you never know, they could be poorly made or easy targets for hackers. So some lessons learned there. DeFi is definitely better, but you do have to look for the quality products, that's for sure. And they're getting better and better. We're getting more better and better DeFi products all the time. November, we're getting into November, so we're not too far from the end of the year, 2022. November, White Knight FTX falls from grace. And, of course, we talked about Terra Luna being the big thing and many of those around it, including Three Arrows Capital and Celsius. Now we've got November, White Knight, so-called White Knight. Remember the buyout there? White Knight FTX falls from grace, sends shockwaves across the industry. FTX and its 30-year-old founder, Sam Bankman-Fried, went from industry leader to bankruptcy in a matter of days. The debacle began after Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao announced that his exchange would sell its holdings of the FTT token, the native currency of FTX. Zhao's announcement followed a reporting from CoinDesk on November the 2nd that found Alameda Research, Bankman-Fried's crypto trading company, held an outsized amount of FTT on its balance sheet. Binance sell-off announced of FTT jettisoned the price of the token and caused industry jitters. FTX users began to pull funds from the exchange, and it soon became mired in a liquidity crunch. And on November the 8th, FTX announced it was freezing withdrawals after a potential buyout deal from Binance fell through. Bankman-Fried declared the bankruptcy of FTX and its affiliates and stepped down as CEO. FTX filed for bankruptcy on November the 11th, along with over 100 affiliates. The fallout of FTX has reverberated throughout the industry, with Bitcoin falling below 16,000 for the first time since November 2020. The crash was worsened by how Bankman-Fried had bolstered his position as a major industry player over the past year, bidding and offering lines of credit to distressed assets from the Terra Luna collapse. Crypto lending platform BlockFi, which had taken a $250 million loan from FTX, declared its bankruptcy on November the 28th. The contagion. Crypto lender Genesis has also paused some of its user withdrawals, a move that has hit their institutional creditors such as the Winklevoss brothers, Gemini, and of course South Korea's GoPax exchanges. Chain analysis estimated the FTX collapse caused $9 billion. That's it, with a big B, $9 billion in losses throughout the industry. And we may not have seen the full end of that contagion, and we may see a little bit of still more fallout in the future. We just don't know. Obviously, the Winklevoss brothers there being sued as well. In addition to that, there's all these sort of secondary, third level play impacts from the fallout of FTX. And of course, we know how much drama there is with his arrest and bond and all sorts of stuff like that. So that is pretty much it. So that is the update there. That was compiled by Dylan Butts and Ningwei Quinn there, of course, from forecast.news. And I thought that was quite a neat little summary, actually, by them for this one there. So that was the crypto highlights or crypto 2022 review by those two writers, and it wasn't too bad. Obviously, there's tons of things that happened in 2022, but that was kind of a nice little narrative around it to sum things up. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll post the link to that article in the chat there if you're going to want to share that around or have a look it up again. CL says, pro tip: if you only sell when prices are at all-time something, or at least local highs, you sell less of your money printer and get more worth out of your hex. Then you can buy more at lows and defend your assets as CL. And Brian there toughed it out. You toughed it out, Brian. You toughed it out to the end. Well done. And of course, there is the link if you want to check that out for the timeline, which I thought was, pretty good, actually, pretty good. So that is some of the highlights there. Let's have a quick look at the hex price at the moment. We are getting this green candle for the second day, which is kind of nice, right? It's currently at 1.889 cents, and it may end up doing a nice little push there. We will see. Now, remember that the Hex Online Conference is coming up. Richard Hart's going to speak on the 9th there, probably. So that's not too far away, right? That's not too far at all. If we include the first there, that is maybe basically 8 or 9 days away, right, until Richard. So maybe in a week's time, this price here could be pretty interesting in this time zone. And, of course, as you guys know, we are also speculating here on this channel based on KDP's information from her dev teams or associates through to the Pulsechain team, that perhaps we may end up with Pulsechain testnet v3. Now, maybe that I've got this running through to the 8th, but maybe very well, maybe that is something that Richard will have available. There's a speculation, of course, available on the 9th, and he can announce, hey, look, we're going to be launching Pulsechain testnet v3 either today or maybe in a couple of days' time in January sometime. Maybe that's something we may get. Obviously, a lot of it's going to be pretty interesting to see that stuff there. Now, obviously, that's going to be fun to see. We did see the Godwell also stake, 45-day stake. That's also given some people pause to thoughts there. I saw some Twitter poll on Twitter there talking about what people thought was the driver for the 45-day stake from the Hex Godwell's 2.1 billion. Kind of typically the Hex Godwell stakes out long, and here we are with the short stake. So is that a bit of a insider knowledge here with the 45? Let us know in the chat if you've heard anything about that speculation. But that's coming up on about the 13th of February. So is that an interesting date? I don't know. Is that mainnet even? Are we going to testnet in a short testnet and then straight to mainnet that early? Or are we going to be waiting longer and, of course, waiting for the Shanghai fork there with the ETH withdrawals so we can have pulse withdrawals? We're going to need that feature as well, obviously. And, of course, all the upgrades, presumably our team can do them themselves. Presumably the code is public because that's what's indicated by Richard Hart in the previous video. And then, of course, we've got V3 license there coming up as well on the 1st of April. That's something that's probably optional. We could probably do the upgrade, just upgrade that ourselves. And, of course, last year in May 2020, this year, early in May, Richard indicated that the V3 AMM bot was already up. So they had some sort of estimate rather than using the actual, which they may just forego. So we'll see how that all plays out. But that's kind of probably, if anything was optional, it's probably that one there, I would say. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. So, yeah, price is not looking too bad. 1.889 cents, second green candle. Let's see if we can get a bit of a string of candles here and get ourselves back up. I don't know, maybe up to 3-4 cents. So we'll see if we can bounce out of that. It's going to be pretty interesting. Now, I think if we get testnet v3 with Pulsechain proof of stake, hey, we may even see some glory prices here getting up into this resistance. This is our long-term resistance, this blue line. That would be up around, 5-7 cents, somewhere in there, maybe 7 cents, 8 cents. That'd be interesting. I mean, if we could get a big hockey stick, that's on the bullish scenario. We'll see how the market receives that, but we could get definitely some sort of rally and maybe into the 3-4 cent range if we had some good news probably at the least there, in my view, my speculation, of course. Let me know in the chat there what you think about that. Who else is in the house there? We got Brendan in the house there. Woohoo! Not too long now, Superman, for New Year celebrations. I know it is currently already 6:40 p.m. here in the evening, so basically the parties are probably about to start somewhere in New Zealand here. There's probably some parties here. I bet there's going to be some random people come up the street here and probably try to knock on the door and be, do some random stuff. Perhaps, who knows? You just never know. New Year's Eve parties are particularly vibrant, pretty vibrant. Wookie's in the house there. No party for Wookie. He is practicing proof of weight, says Wookie. Nice. And of course, no party here either, says Hex Token. No, we're all crypto buffs. So we're probably all the crypto buffs. Apart from, I reckon probably all the crypto buffs, apart from Tangent, who's probably the king of the parties. He's the party boy. Apart from Tangent, everyone else is probably doing their own thing. More quiet night there. What was that? Green, my precious, says Machiavelli. Green, my precious. Yes, indeed. It's a Hex Token channel pump. That's pretty much it. So very cool. That is some of the exciting stuff happening. Let me know in the chat what's anything else you guys have heard. We're going to pull up Richard Art's Twitter bot and not Twitter bot, his Twitter. See if he's been posting anything. He might very well post something at his time for New Year's. So we'll be looking to hang out about that. He's been, kind of on the quiet side, I guess. Mostly crypto defending the Hex honor there as well. He's had a few posts around that. I think that's kind of where he's been. That is Richard. Let's have a look at some of these trades that we're getting at the moment on the Hex pair. We've got someone buying 105,000 Hex there for $2,000. We've got someone buying $100 worth of Hex for $5,555. They got a bit of sense of humor, these people, haven't they? Buying $105 worth of Hex at 55555 Hex. That's kind of cool to see. Just shows you some of those cultural things in the Hex community do play a role with the 5555 and the 3.69. What else we got there? Yeah, we've got these sort of trades, 3,500, 2,000, 2,000. Lots of retail trades in here. Let's jump around, see if we can see something a little bit bigger on there. Let's look here. Some of the bigger trades, $1 million. Someone sold $1 million earlier today for 19,360. Someone bought 776,000, 14,000. Someone bought $1 million for almost 19,000 here. So you're getting a bit of ebbs and flows here amongst the slightly larger retail book with those purchases. We've got a couple of big sales in there, a couple of big buys, so ebbs and flows. Now, obviously, you're looking for the big ones, right? Where's the $100,000 ones, even $500,000 ones, or even bigger than that. So we'll see how that goes over time. The money will flow once the sentiment turns, once different events happen around Pulsechain net, the funds can flow back in pretty quickly as well. So we'll be looking out for all of that sort of stuff. So that is some of the trades that have been going on. This is the top trading pair, remember. And at the moment, we've got 322 buys versus 156 sells. We definitely have the good, strong retail ratio on that buy side. And of course, the buy volume is 859,000 versus 666 over the last 24 hours. So that's kind of cool. That's heading in the right direction. And hence, we have a nice little green chart emerge for the second day so far, although it's got quite a few hours to go until that closes off there. So probably another 2/3 of the day to go. It's kind of that in the house. Now, if you guys haven't seen, I also did match the commentary of the financial markets with interest rate rises. That kind of aligns by the time we get to, say, March. It aligns pretty well with the Shanghai fork and the Uniswap V3. So it's going to be a very interesting period there. Maybe very indicative of maybe when mainnet might happen. I've still got that out here in March to May, so we'll see. Question mark. And we'll find out how it all plays out, but certainly looking better in my view. We'll see how we go here. Now, yeah, I'm just hopefully we get testnet in January. That'd be pretty nice. I think we can all agree with that. Who else is in the house? We've got a couple of people talking about parties. Dank says parties, mushroom party. Mushroom equals party there, Dank. Be careful with the old mushrooms there, Dank. You could end up in emergency ward as well. Just be careful with that. Brennan says, I'm vibing on a boat, says Brennan. I'm vibing on a boat. Have you seen that parody video on the boat with the SNL guy? That's pretty hilarious. I can't remember how the tune goes, but it's pretty funny. Machiavelli, 100% lit. Hex Holder says, watch 4 short episode teasers of the new Hex documentary. Not the highest of stakes, another one. And you can find the link there. Thanks, Hex Holder, for posting that. Right under the fireworks should be good, says Brennan. Yeah, if it wasn't, maybe I don't know whether it's copyright or not, those videos, or whether it's got music on X or otherwise I might play it, but I haven't vetted it, so I'm not going to do that. I already got pinged over the last month for playing about 5 or 6 copyright pieces of music. The YouTube algorithm pinged my channel for doing that. They don't tell you that in the terms of service, but you notice it very quickly. Machiavelli with the fireworks, I like that for tonight. Yeah, I forgot about the fact there's going to be all these fireworks. It's going to be noisy here. I know my cat's going to freak out here. The cat will freak out with the fireworks. It's like having a war going on for the cat, I think. Okay, I'm off. Says Brennan. Peace all. A priest to you, Brennan. Enjoy your evening and Happy New Year to you. Tortoise Johnny says, thank the whales for giving us great entry points, says Tortoise Johnny. That's true. There is quite the retail distribution on at the moment with the Hex price. That is true. What else there? Actually, let me just auto log this so we can get pretty close to that. Is the Hex price? Let's pull that up. That's pretty nice. We can see that's the daily on the daily. Yeah. Happy New Year. Happy New Year Eve, says Tortoise Johnny. That is true. Medical grade albino Alvarez, says Dank. Oh, that's crazy, man. Take care out there, Dank. Take care. So as long as you're not sinking on a boat, Brennan. Yeah, sinking on a boat. That's for sure. Hey, boats can be good. I get seasick, so unfortunately, they're not. Even though I love boats, they're not my thing. Unfortunately, one time I did try to ignore the fact that I get seasick, and it didn't last very long. But let me leave it that story at the end there. All right, very cool. Hey, we might almost get back to 2 cents maybe during the Hex Token live show here. We may very well get back to that pretty closely. Let's go check on Twitter. Let's go check let's go to query Hex and see what people are saying about Hex with the old Hex one there. Let's put through the old Hex. Are we going to use the hash or the dollar sign? I'm not sure if people really use the dollar signs. We'll have a look under the hash and see what people are saying. 6 hours ago, Abit posted something. Hex gets stronger every fight. It's got the formula there, the Hex Hater formula. Hex Hater used FUD. It's not very effective. We've got Relentless there. I like this tweet if you're still a Hexican. It's got that one there. I might as well retweet that out there. What else there? A crypto spar book there. That's Abit and Patrick. Everyone, did you notice that the real Godwild just staked 2.1 billion Hex? Yep, people definitely talked about that. Do we ever look at that? I'm not sure. What's your best guess on why? Crypto Sparbook said he has more stakes coming out in the beginning of 23. And my guess is he wants to bundle them up. So that's a good insight there. How long for? Until the 14th of February. That's kind of cool. I think I had the 13th of February on my chart, but that's not too bad. So some nice updates there. David James in the house there. 500K for 4. So I've got a few comments there. Beast mode, that's for sure. All right, so cool. What else there? Your friend Somi. We like your friend Somi. He always does some good commentaries and analysis. And of course, he posted this the other day. Hex is down 97% in a straight line. It's been terrible the whole way. I put overlay chart of Bitcoin first cycle versus Ethereum first cycle, and it's got the white line here, Bitcoin, and the blue line in Ethereum. Let's have a quick look at that. Hex is in pink, of course. So you can see the Hex chart there. You can see white is Bitcoin, and you can see blue is Ethereum there. Since the first cycle of 2012 and 2018. So it's all first cycle comparison. It goes, you see where Hex is. Hex was actually holding up pretty well just until the last little wee while. That being said, of course, you saw ETH down here had quite a bit of dip on this one. So, I mean, you could all equalize that out. So I guess we're looking for a upturn here for Hex, right? That's kind of where we're looking for there. That can happen. It'll be just slightly offset to the ETH chart there. So not too bad there from your friend Somi. I might retweet that one. That's kind of cool. What else there? Something to that. Your friend Somi says a Twitter user started posting that he sacrificed 3 million for Pulsechain, and he has good evidence it's coming out. Really? Also said he would now dump his huge Hex bag. What? I did some research and found out he's a LARPer. Yeah, that sounds about right. crazy stuff. We're going to jump past that stuff there. Lots of those on Twitter, right? It's like a minefield of information. You got to filter through it. Let's jump through some of this. We got Power City coming. Definitely, I like some of this artwork. Have you noticed that since, particularly with a lot of the AI stuff, that people have been putting AI art all over the place? That's sort of been the big boom at the moment. Crypto Coffee, of course, the biggest YouTuber in the Hex Pulsechain space, at least the first, the dedicated one. How do you feel about Hex in one GIF? And hold, he says. That's from Crypto Coffee, so that's kind of cool. Let's see what people are saying about that, actually. That's pretty interesting. It's only been 30 minutes, and I love what I see, says Crypto Coffee. Pretty funny. Got lots of different stuff being spotted in here. It's kind of cool. My precious Hex, that's for sure. My precious Hex. It's a little bit of fun there. Hodl, hodl, hodl. I like that one. That's kind of cool. Hodl, hodl. Yeah, so some cool stuff in there. There's a bit of humor. If you like Twitter, you like humor. That's probably what you're going to see there. Your friend Somi 8 hours ago. This is Godwell's account page. He likes buying Hex and supports the ecosystem. He has 132,000 ETH, 160 million today. He is Ethereum ICO participant. His ETH is from Genesis ETH, one of the earliest accounts ever made. And he's got the link there, so that's kind of cool. God, wow. That's on Fatty. I didn't realize that was on Fatty there, but that's kind of cool. So you can see all the Hex and all the wallets. Kind of neat. Let me get a drink here. All right. Let's get back. I think that's kind of it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that content. We've got the Hex price at the moment. Maybe hit 2 cents, back to 2 cents today. It's getting very close. The high has been 1.9 cents. It's 1.894, very close to 2 cents. I wouldn't be surprised if we hit 2 cents today. We've got the Hex conference coming up. That could be quite a nice little bullish thing, particularly if we get out the back end of it. We get the testnet V3. That'd be pretty exciting. Who else has arrived? We've got Lau says, Happy New Year, Superman. Thanks for all the excellent content and good company. Hey, Lau, you're welcome, man. It's a pleasure. Machiavelli says 2 pennies tonight. I think so. That might happen. Great White says, getting ready for our famous Sydney Harbour fireworks. Yeah, that's right, Great White. That is pretty famous. The old Sydney fireworks. That should be amazing. Hope you're on a boat, are you, Great White? Pretty sure you're on a boat. Yeah, if you're on a boat, that'd be amazing. Anywhere around Sydney Harbour would be amazing. We'll probably see that on TV, no doubt, as the fireworks at Sydney Harbour Bridge. So that's pretty cool. Right. Cheers, everybody. Hey, look, I'm probably going to wrap up now. I do wish you guys all a very good New Year's. And, of course, we will be in Discord. So if you want to carry on the chat in Discord, link is in the video description. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, smash the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell, all that good stuff. And I wish you all a very happy New Year, whatever time zone you're in. And, of course, I hope you have a good time with your family and friends and really celebrate the end of the year. And, of course, we're going to usher in 2023 and look forward to even a brighter future in 2023, right? I think that for the Hex community, and we've got a very exciting potential future. Look, we're just waiting for Pulsechain, and there's a very good chance, I think, increasing chance that should all play out in the first half of the year, hopefully, based on this timetable that I've laid out. So looking forward to it. Hope you are too. Cheers, as we say. What do we say? Chin chin, as it were, chin chin. And, of course, enjoy it. Champagne all around. And try not to have too many mushrooms out there. Try not to. I'm talking to Dank out there at the moment. Trying to have too many mushrooms. Great White says, no boat for me tonight. Just got off a boat doing Sydney to Hobart. Nice one there, Great White. Sounds a lot of fun, man. Hashtag enjoy yourself. That's all I can say. Hashtag enjoy yourself. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to play out a fun video on the way out, as I always do. So let me find something that's a bit fun. Let me see here what we're going to do. I can't remember which stuff's got copyright music on. I really have to filter my my library here. So let me do that. Why not? We'll just play out the famous Richard rap. Let's do that. All right, peace out, everybody. Take care. Bye for now.
Art here in my $3,000 Valentino Rockstud purse, my $3,000 Prada jacket, $2,000 Prada shirt, $2,000 or $3,000 Prada pants, Prada glasses, Prada hat, Prada bracelet, and it's all Prada. Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off. Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off.
Lil Bubble, let me ride that rocket.